without you. Just 63 cents a day can change a child's life forever, like it did for me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please call or go online now. Your call says you care.
Welcome back. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin holding another round of meetings in Italy this morning. This coming as the U.S. and China reached a new trade deal, and a key component includes natural gas. It will allow American companies to export liquefied natural gas to China. Joining us right now is the Schork Report founder, Stephen Schork. Stephen, good to see you. Always a pleasure. What do you think of this deal?
Great to be here. Well, it's a much-needed deal, Maria, for the industry with regard to LNG exports right now. The U.S. is already on the cusp of becoming a net exporter of LNG, or of natural gas, I should say, which is just mind-boggling. When 15 years ago, expectations were the United States was going to have to be a major importer of natural gas. So isn't capitalism great? But that said, with regard to the LNG, the industry 3, 4, 5 years ago kind of went all in on investment in LNG. Problem was that demand prospects for this gas were kind of sketchy. So now that we had this investment, we do have another potential outlet, that also being with the potential of natural gas becoming a waterborne or a bunker fuel market driver. This is just one development of a market area that is much needed for the industry. So for LNG exports, it's potentially a very good sign for the industry.
Stephen, James Freeman here at the Wall Street Journal. Wanted to ask you about the oil market. Hi. Obviously, seems like oil investors kind of breathing a sigh of relief, thinking that U.S. Supplies aren't too high right now. But I'm just wondering, when you have U.S. frackers getting more efficient every year, you've got thousands of wells that they could essentially tap at any time. Can you be bullish about the price of oil going forward?
No, you can't. So if you are an investor breathing a sigh of relief, good luck with that. Essentially, we're looking at a situation where, look, right now, oil is on a rebound right now, and you have to ask yourself, if oil cannot rally now, then when is it going to rally? Because demand for crude oil at this point of the year has never been greatest, and this is the most important time of the year, and yet we're still struggling to get back to $50 a barrel. So at this point, going forward, to your point, looking ahead from a supply standpoint, when we look at the CFTC data, when we look at the Baker Hughes rig counts, when we look at what the EIA is saying, U.S. production is going to be well north of 9.5 million barrels a day by the end of this year, meaning that we've added 700,000 barrels of oil back to the market, a lot of that mitigating what OPEC has done. And as you said, to your point about the efficiencies and greater margins, U.S. production is strong and only getting stronger. And that's half the equation. We also have to look at the other side, the demand picture at this point. Now, anyone who looks at the market, we all know Tesla is probably the greatest corporate welfare queen out there, but they are onto something. So substitutes are a big factor into this market. So greater supply, not a great demand, leads to kind of muted prices looking in the long term.
All right, great stuff, Stephen. Thanks very much for walking us through it. Stephen Schork joining us there. We're going to get another look at the demand side of the economy in just a few minutes when we get the retail sales number out in 3 minutes. Meanwhile, President Trump is set to address students at Liberty University. The protest